All righty. Okay. Well, hello, everyone. And back to school is almost here. This is an exciting time, right, everybody? So it's August the 21st is our big day with Epic. So we are excited here with Ask Epic, and we're also excited. Our school district is getting ready to bring back thousands of students. So we're just, teachers are getting ready, administrators are. So we are just excited about the first day of school next Monday. Anyway, but thank you all for joining us this week for another installment of Ask Epic. We meet every week to discuss all things Epic, and because we really want to provide new to Epic families and returning families a place to learn about everything Epic has to offer and all the many activities. And today is no different. My name is Carla Smitherman, and I'm from the Epic Development Team.
Hi, and I'm Ashley Brown. I'm also from the Epic Development Team. So we're really excited today. We're going to be talking about Math Plus and ELA Plus, which is new. ELA is new this year, and we're super excited about it. I know myself, I've seen talking about Math Plus. It's all the buzz right now. You see it everywhere. So we're really excited to be able to talk about these two new programs today. They're really important for our families, and we just think it's going to be such a such an advantage for our students to have. So we're happy to be here. As you're joining, please, if you have questions, we just like for you to put them in the chat box. So if you see chat down at the bottom, if you have a question for either Carla and I or for our guests, put it in the chat box and we will address it. But if you have something that maybe you'd like to address one-on-one, something really specific, you are always welcome to email Carla and I's team, our EDT team. That's hard to say. So I'm going to drop our email address in the chat box below. So if you need some one-on-one help, you can just email us
Good.
there.
Yes, and make sure you keep those questions coming. Okay, and I thought about today and how important the first day of school is, and we want to have our students ready for everything and everything they're going to encounter for the year. So I just want everybody to put in the chat box your first, or let's say your best memory for math or reading. If you had a great reading teacher or a great math teacher, oh, I see a hand. Put it in the chat box for us. I love to hear what you have to say, because I know that if we're going to have great outcomes with our students, and which we are going to have with Epic, we have to put them in the best situation. Just like Ashley said, have the best advantages possible. So we have people today that are going to talk about how we're going to put our students in that best possible situation in math and ELA. Because we're very concerned about our students and we want them to have the best outcomes. So today we like to introduce our guests, Erica and Amber. They are two people who are extremely vested in outcomes with Math Plus and ELA Plus. So before I continue, can you please introduce yourselves and tell us your roles at Epic?
Hi, I'm Erica Nielsen and I am the Math Plus director. And I'm really excited to be here today.
And I'm Amber Parks. I am the director of ELA or ELA, however you want to say it, plus.
Very good. Well, thank you both for joining us. We're so excited you're here with us today. You are the experts, so we have a plenty of questions for you, and we know we have a ton of questions from our guests today. Anyway, but Epic focuses on standard-driven instruction in math and English. These goals for each student are unique. That's what makes us different, right? We really focus on providing different instruction for every student, because we know every different learns different, and every student has have different past experiences. Each teacher has specific goals based on the student's present levels. So with that specific instruction, this is going to just enhance what we're bringing to the table with these two very unique programs. And they are going to address the standard driven instruction with the guided teacher and their classes.
Yes. Okay. One quick thing before we switch over to kind of getting more into those programs. I see some comments, so I just wanted to address
Oh,
those.
good.
It looks like initially the chat box wasn't working, but it is now. So if you've got some questions, please throw them in there. And again, if you need some more one-on-one help, you can always email us at edt@epiccharterschools.org. But it looks like Amber said, Carla, your question about some good memories with math and ELA. They said, Amber said, my 5th grade teacher read aloud fantastic children's books all year to us that inspired me to love reading even more. Yeah, absolutely. That's like one of the number one things we can do is just reading to our kids. I know, man, my mom read to me every night without fail. And I still am to this day, such a reader, and it served me so well in life. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Amber. Oh, Amber, now I see your name, Amber Parks. I didn't realize at the beginning when I read that comment it was you. I just saw Amber. Okay, thanks, Amber. Awesome. So Carla and I kind of have come up with some questions that we had about your program specifically, but just to start out, Erica and Amber, do you mind just telling us a little bit about each of your programs, and then we can go into questions either from the audience or from Carla and I.
I'll go first. So ELA Plus is brand new this year. We are so honored to have the plus attached to our name and really be in the same specialty department as Math Plus, but we are starting in a different place. So Math Plus is phenomenal with core replacement math classes. We hope to be just as phenomenal as a Tier 1 Plus intervention for students. So Tier 1 Plus is a fancy way of saying students who are scoring in that 26th to 39th percentile on their STAR assessments. We're looking at STAR early literacy and STAR reading, and we are primarily focusing on 1st through 5th graders this year with our academies. So they will be invited. All families will receive an email of qualifying students to enroll in our academies and receive some small group instruction that will help boost their students' scores from in the Tier 1 Plus range, hopefully well into Tier 1, which means they are solid readers and writers.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. Thank you. How about you, Erica?
So Math Plus, we are starting our 3rd year this year. Carla, you've been with us from the beginning and on a committee that first year, and really enjoyed all of your input. But this year we've expanded down to 3rd grade. So we're serving students 3rd grade through 12th. Our 3rd and 4th grade classes are new this year, and those are going to look a little bit different than our older grades. So I'll talk about those first. 3rd and 4th grade classes are about 45 minutes each, and those students will meet 3 days per week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But that 45 to 50 minutes that they're meeting in class those days, that is their math for the day. They won't have to leave and go do something extra. And so they'll have a component on, I believe Monday, they will use a program called Zearn that is standards based, and it has that spiraled review built in, and so that's kind of their homework. And then on Fridays will be their fluency day, and so they'll work on that in another program, I believe. But that's how 3rd and 4th grade will work. During class, it's not just there's going to be a lot of discussion and activities and things. They're going to be interacting and really talking about math a lot and building a really strong foundation in number sense that we know is so important as they progress to the more difficult math. So many students don't learn math the way that we were taught math back in the day, with here's a formula, this is, here's the standard algorithm, this is just what you do, and you memorize that. So we really want to build that conceptual understanding so that when they're getting to those upper level math classes, or just even into 5th and 6th, and they're doing lots of division and ratios and proportions, that they can really think about numbers flexibly, and they understand what they're doing when they manipulate numbers. They're not just following a procedure. And so we really want to give those 3rd and 4th graders that really solid foundation. 5th grade through 12th, those classes are 75 minutes each, and they only meet 2 days per week. So students will either meet Monday and Wednesday, or Tuesday and Thursday. We use the flipped classroom for those. So students are watching some instructional videos before they come to class. That's their prep for class. And then when they're in class, they get more direct instruction. They get, their questions answered about, hey, what you watched outside of class, what are you not understanding? How can I help you? Let's put it all together. And then they work on activities in class so the teacher can see what they're doing and they can catch it quickly when they see, oh, they don't really understand what they're doing. So let's correct that. And again, lots of discussion, lots of learning how to think through problems, how to, test taking skills, even though they don't know that that's what they're learning. They're just, let's work through these problems together and discuss them. Why are you thinking that? Well, what does this mean? Like, what are you thinking when you see that? Like learning to find patterns and that type of thing. Sorry. After that, they usually end each class with an exit ticket or some activity of some sort so that the teachers have, a formative assessment to see how the students are doing. Outside of class, students work in a program called ALEX, which is students take an initial knowledge check to kind of see where they are. And so that's really where they get that differentiation, because it doesn't require students to keep doing things that they already know. And it will also level down a certain percent if they see that they aren't ready for this content yet. So let's pull in some of that below grade level. And then our teachers build out the unit so that they follow what they're doing in class. And so, if Amber and I are both in that class, we may have a completely different set of skills that we're working. Well, not different, but a different number of skills. Because here's the chunk of what you got to know. Maybe Amber already knew some of that I didn't, and maybe I have some below grade level stuff. So that's going to vary a little bit. And then students they get periodic knowledge checks to see, like, okay, what have you retained? Oh, you haven't retained this, so we better put that back on your carousel of things you need to learn so that you're seeing it again. So we've had a lot of success with ALEX.
Well, yes, that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just wanted to say we have a couple questions, so I
Yes,
thought we'd address
saw
those
that.
really quickly. It
Thank
looks like
you.
Fanny is asking if elementary students first and third grade can attend all week and do hands-on work too. Fanny, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you speaking just about in general with EPIC, or are you talking about Math Plus? But I'm thinking you're just asking in general for EPIC. And so that would be, it sounds like you're talking about the VLC program, but let me know so I can try to answer that more clearly for you.
Yeah, and also Schoolhouse would be a great
or Schoolhouse
option too. So
yeah,
both of those would
exactly.
be wonderful to
Yes.
explore.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you,
absolutely.
Amber. Yes.
Yeah, so Fanny, let me know what specifically you're thinking of, and we'll try to answer that for you. And then Mariah says, this is one for you, Erica. I was looking for a link to the writing tablet that is recommended for Math Plus students. Can we provide that?
So that is available through the Learning Fund. Because I'm not a roster teacher, I'm not quite sure what that looks like now, but I do know that there is one specifically dedicated to Math Plus, and the roster teacher just needs to make a note that it's a Math Plus student so that they will approve that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Very good.
And I
Another
see
question.
one more question. Sorry, y'all. Do the families contact their teacher to enroll in Math Plus?
Okay, it could happen either way. The first step is to complete the Math Plus 23-24 intent form, and that's in PowerSchool. So the guardians have access to complete that. If they need help, the roster teacher is welcome to complete that as well. But then that alerts us that we have a new student who is interested.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank
and it
you.
looks like somebody shared the link to the writing tablet, like the exact link. So
Awesome.
thank you,
Wow.
Braley. That was very helpful. That's great.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Can
Okay,
always count on Braley.
Yeah, thank you, Braley.
Yeah, there we go.
Amanda wants to know, do you re-enroll for second semester, or are you automatically placed?
Automatically.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good to know.
Beginning of the year.
Very
Okay,
good.
great. I think that's all the questions for now, Carla. So I'm going to toss it back to you.
All right, those are great questions, and we'll keep them going, keep them coming, because we want you to be as informed as possible today. I think, Erica, you've already done a great job of answering a little bit about the curriculum that's utilized for Math Plus. If you want to add anything else in, please let me know. But in the meantime, we'll just start with Amber. Can you tell us exactly what curriculum you use for ELA Plus, please?
Yes. So we are not a core replacement this year. So what we are more focusing on is building students' background knowledge and thinking skills and reading and writing skills. So what we have designed, the team of 10 of us, we've designed month-long academies that are built around really engaging themes. So for our first and second graders, they will have 3 different themes. All of them will be in the same themed classes. We have community helpers first, we have fables and folktales second, and then we have winter wonderland third. And students and families will still have a choice of time of when they attend the classes that will meet 3 days per week. On the flip side, for 3rd through 5th grade, there are 8 choices for each of the academies for the fall. And we're thoughtful about that because we know when students are in 3rd through 5th grade and reading and writing are a struggle, we want to have something that is of interest to them to really pull them in. And so we have everything from ancient Egypt to Legos to famous females in history. So students are going to be able to find a topic that they say, oh, I want to learn about that. And then we'll get to teach them all these great reading and writing skills within those fun themes. And really, where did we design all of this work and the class activities? It's coming from the wealth of science of literacy research that has been around for a very long time, but families, you might be hearing a lot about this lately, about science of reading, or listen to podcasts about what are the best techniques when it comes to especially reading, but writing's looped in there as well. And my team, we have 180 years of combined teaching experience. We've got dyslexia certified practitioners on our team, as well as SPED teachers. We run the gamut of knowledge and expertise and experience when it comes to literacy. And so we're not using a particular curriculum. We have curated what we're doing with students to really fine tune their learning. We will address phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, comprehension, and writing in every class through really engaging activities, but it's not pulled from a particular curriculum right now.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as you're mentioning the SPED student, I think I would like to ask both of you, can you let us know, can all students participate? Is it Reg Ed and SPED? I'll let both of y'all answer that question. And then also, Erica, if you want to add on anything in addition about the curriculum with Math Plus, please feel free.
Sure. So first we'll start with the curriculum. Our team, we have several teachers on each team now, but Alex is really just kind of our homework practice piece, but everything that we do in class and all of our pre-class instructional videos, all of that is created by our teams of teachers, and it is all 100% Oklahoma standards based. And they've created pacing guides to make sure they cover every standard, and they're spending the most time on those power standards that are most important. We do vertical alignment, but from 5th to 6th and 6th to 7th. See, what are your kids needing the most? And so we're covering everything we can to make sure that we're truly giving our students the best and the most important math instruction for their grade level.
That is wonderful.
And as far as SPED, ELL, Math Plus is open to all students. We're really excited that this year we have a SPED liaison who is going to work. She's already been working with our teams on how to look at and read IEPs, look at accommodations. What does that mean? What does that look like in our model? What are the things that we're already doing? What are things that we can build into our lessons from the start so that it's already in place and available to all students? She will also be working with roster teachers and parents if they have questions or concerns, things that they want to be addressed better in their Math Plus class. She can work with them and then come back to our Math Plus team and tell us, hey, we really need to work on this. We need to improve this aspect. She can sit in on IEP meetings and make sure that all of the wonderful things that the students are doing in Math Plus are reflected on those IEPs.
That sounds great. Thank you. Go ahead, Amber.
Within ELA Plus, we are welcoming all students. Our range of percentile is that 26th to 39th percentile-ish is what I like to say, because we want to find the best fit in terms of students and families that that this works for in terms of time commitment and the way that the classes will be run. But yes, we welcome all students at Epic to be a part of our ELA Plus academies, and we will reach out directly to families when students qualify based on their STAR scores to be able to enroll in our academies.
All right, that's wonderful.
One thing
Go
I
ahead.
just thought of, Sean actually just recently put together a new Math Plus video for us, and we have an Epic roster teacher whose own child is on an IEP, and they're featured in the video talking about, you know, how Math Plus worked for them, and like I can't remember the exact numbers, but like she talked about his percentiles and how she watched it just skyrocket through the year. And so I encourage everyone to check out that video.
Yeah, and that teacher,
Oh, wow.
she's actually on the ELA Plus team. It's Megan Nguyen, and so not
Oh,
only
wow.
That's awesome.
but she
I wish
is an ELA Plus instructor. So.
If we could get a hold of that video, maybe we can watch it before the end of the before the end of our Ask Epic today. I see a question from Sunny, and the question is, let's pivot to that. Is there a Math Plus that doesn't have live classes to attend? So that would be for Erica.
Yes, so that's a great question. So actually for our 6th through 12th classes, or actually 6th through Algebra 2, we have what we call Math Plus Unplugged. And so that's where we've taken what we do in our live classes and we've turned it into an asynchronous model so that students can go through it by themselves. So like it's the same as what we're doing live, but then anything that you know, required the teacher to provide direct instruction, we have additional videos for that. Any activities that were like group activities or that type of thing, we've switched those up a little bit, but it still follows the Math Plus class, the same pacing. Staying on pace is required in our unplugged model as well, because we feel that's very important that you stay on pace, you stay engaged, don't have big, you know, chunks of time where you're not engaging in math. So we do require a monthly check-in. So once a month, usually the first Monday or Tuesday of the month, the student will meet in a small group with their teacher, but those Zooms are in focus mode, which means that the students will have their camera on and the teacher can see the student, but the students can't see each other. But that allows, you know, the teacher and the students to build that relationship and just, you know, just get that FaceTime with each other and like talk about, okay, so what's going on this month? What do you need help with? How, you know, what can I do for you? But our unplugged students also have the same opportunity to attend all of our office hours and all the other supports that we have for our live classes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for that. I did have that question later on. So thank you Sunny, for asking us that question. So I appreciate it. I think the only other question I had for now, before I go let Ashley start asking, was about how many days a week will my student have to attend class? I had that asked a lot last year. So let's go ahead and start with Erica, and then we'll let Amber answer.
So how many days per week? So for 3rd and 4th grade students, that's 3 days per week. And for 5th through 12th, it's 2 days per week. We also have office hours that are available 5 days a week. And this is probably a good time to talk about our other supports we have in place, such as our overtime. Our overtime we started that last year. So overtime is like our immediate intervention when we're in class and we see Amber is usually just really on it, but she seems to be struggling with this topic. So we will refer a student to an overtime session so that the next day they could come in and get the same lesson, like taught in a little bit different way, or maybe she just needs extra time on it. But it just provides that student, you know, more face time with a teacher on that topic so that we don't let too much time pass and they haven't, you know, grasped that concept. And then we also have our targeted tutoring or win time, what I need. So that is kind of our tier 3 intervention, where we see that we have students that, you know, they really are, maybe they are in the 15th percentile. They're really below grade level. And we know that, you know, we have this unit coming up and there are too many gaps, and we need to fill those gaps so that whenever they're in, you know, they're trying to learn that on grade level material, they're actually ready for it. And so that's where we set up one-on-one or small group tutoring to address those below grade level skills. And so this year we have more time built into our teacher schedule to dedicate to that.
Wow, I thought you all did an absolutely amazing job the last 2 years. If you're telling me you're doing more, that's wonderful. Just for the audience to let you all know, I did have several students that were very successful in the Math Plus program. So I obviously highly recommend it from my personal point of view. I had students that I think I sent to Erica that were just doing backflips because they never made an A or a B. But the extra support and the extra resources they received really made a difference. So anyway, so I just wanted to add that on. Okay, well, so Amber, can you go ahead and answer that question? How many days a week will a student participate in ELA Plus?
Yes. So our first and second graders, they will meet for 3 days a week for 45 minutes. We have classes that meet on different combinations of days throughout the week. So that'll be a choice for teachers and families to talk through. And then our third through fifth graders, they will be grouped together in classes, and they will meet 3 days a week as well, but for an hour. So just slightly longer since they're a little bit older, and a lot more to address with those grade levels. But yes, 3 days a week is the magic number, and then 45 minutes for first and second, or an hour for our third through fifth graders. And this will count for their EPIC Essentials. So that's a really nice piece for families to think about with ELA Plus, is that this is not one more thing. We were very thoughtful about that because we are wanting to work with students who are on that cusp of really unlocking literacy and thriving all the way into higher tier 1 scores. And so we didn't want to just be one more thing. So while students are enrolled with us in ELA Plus Academies, and that is a semester long commitment, then they will not have to do any other online EPIC Essential for literacy. And our academies will start on the 11th of September, and the first one will run through October 5th. So that's 4 weeks. So they'll have one of those themes, for 4 weeks. Then we'll have a break for a couple weeks, actually 11 days or so. And then we'll start back on October 16th with our second round of our academies. And then that ends on November 9th. And then the third round starts on November 27th. So there's some nice breaks in there as well, which is just built in for families to have a little breather time, and also for our team to come together and be thoughtful about what are we doing in the next academy to further grow our students' skills, and also having the opportunity for them to choose different themes. So there will be 3 academies in the fall, all a month long. So there's a total of 12 sessions for each theme, and then those nice little breaks in between to just give students and families a little breather before they dive back in and grow their skills some more.
It sounds like you have put a lot of time and energy, your team, into it. And I agree with Ashley. I love how she put it. It's all the buzz right now, right, about EL Plus. So we're excited for you and your team. Okay, Ashley, I think you have some questions now.
Yes. So a couple things you guys have addressed already, which is great. I did want to say before I jumped into my question, Braylee is saving the day again. We talked about that really cool Math Plus video that was recently created, and she shared the link from Facebook. So if you want to, please save that link and go back and watch it. And thanks, Braylee. I think you're about to be hired for our helper on the chat box, right? Okay, so let's see. We just talked about that. As a parent or a caregiver, do parents and caregivers have access to seeing students work in Math Plus, ELA Plus, and their grades and things like that?
Yes. So for Math Plus students, we use Schoology. That's the platform that we build our courses in, and parents receive a Schoology code so that they can create an account where they can log in and they see everything that their student sees. The only difference is they can't submit work. but they can see work that has been submitted. They can see the grade book. They can see, the lessons, everything, just like their student would. In addition to that, we have several layers. We cover all bases here. So our Schoology, we have grades passed back to PowerSchool, so the students can see, all of those assignments and grades in PowerSchool as well. And then further, we have a weekly email that goes out to parents that they could easily just, if they can open their email, they can see the grades, because there's a PDF report that lists all assignments, the students' grades, or if the assignment was missing, all of their absences, even their ALEKS, like the weekly, this is how many weekly topics we've had. This week they did, 10 out of the 12. This week it was 7 out of 7. We provide more information than people know what to do with. So if they use a phone or computer, they can have all the information they need.
That's great. Thank you so much. And Amber, what about for ELA Plus? Can parents see grades?
We are following in Math Plus footsteps in terms of communicating as clearly and as multiple ways as we can to ensure that families and roster teachers know what's happening within our classes. So while we are not a core replacement, we are encouraging roster teachers to pull from the literacy academies for grades in the core subjects, even in science and social studies, along with ELA, because we purposely chose themes and topics that would pull in some science and social studies standards. So there's definitely an opportunity for grades to come from the work that we're doing, but we will communicate all of that directly with roster teachers, specifically in terms of the work that they're doing and grades. And then there will be also emails to families to show what students are working on and the grades that they're receiving. A lot of it will be in class. There's not homework with ELA Plus. There's not outside work. So it will be a lot of collective work that students will do with teachers, even writing. I'm a huge believer in it. Our whole team will have students writing every single day, but not silent and alone. It'll be collaborative. It will be collective, but students will write 2 complete pieces by the end of each academy. And that's something that, while it is a collective piece, we encourage roster teachers to utilize that for as many grades as they can count that for, because writing is a true feat anytime it's completed. And families will be notified if they are eligible for enrollment on August 28th. So that's a really important date for families to know. I will just share, we know of 1,000 students at EPIC that are already eligible for our academies, and our academies are small groups. So there's only 5 students in the first and second grade, and there's only 8 students in the 3rd through 5th grade classes. So with all of our teachers at capacity, we will only be able to work with 240 students this semester. And that's still a tremendous amount of students, but we know that a lot are not going to be able to get into the academies this semester. So while we have great plans to grow, this first go around, it'll be 240 students that we can serve. So I just encourage families that if they feel that this is a good fit for them, and you'll hear from your roster teacher about that before the 28th, but you will get an email from us on August 28th if your child is eligible for this, and go from there and register as quickly as you can.
Thank you.
Can I add one thing real quick for families?
Yeah, go ahead.
Amber, I'm assuming you guys are pulling from the Guardian email in PowerSchool.
Yes.
So I encourage families to double check the email that you have in PowerSchool, because that's an issue we've had a lot with parents saying we're not getting the emails, and it turns out it's an old work email, or they missed a period or something somewhere. So double check that.
Yeah, that's a great.
I love that. Thank you, Erica. We need to get a neon sign with that because I think we all have been there with the change of email and don't remember to go back and change it in all the very important areas in our life, right? So Thank you for reminding us of that. Ashley, I think I see a question in the chat box. And someone just asked, they say, sorry if this was already answered. There's no question. It doesn't matter. Even if we answer it, you can go ahead and ask. Doesn't matter. Will there be an ELA Plus for middle school or high school?
The short answer is yes, just not yet. So we definitely plan to grow into middle school and high school, and also grow into core replacement classes. So that is in our long-term plan, but we again are targeting our 1st through 5th graders this first year to have that purposeful instruction for our Tier 1+ students, those in 26th to 39th percentile. So just give us a little more time. It's coming, I promise. We can't wait to branch out and up into the upper grades. We're ready to do it.
I think there are probably families chomping at the bit. But anyway, go ahead, Ashley. I'm sorry.
I have one more question. I think you kind of addressed this just a minute ago, Amber, but a parent's wondering, how can we determine our child's STAR ELA percentage?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the one quick way would be to reach out to your roster teacher. They have access to that, especially if you've taken the fall benchmark already. We're right in the window of our fall benchmark. So, so teachers are compiling all of that information. We are also going off of last year's scores. I'll just share that. So we're not, if your child has not benchmarked yet, don't panic. We still have them on our radar if they're in that range. And we also have a place for teachers to recommend students that may not fit in our range, but they feel, oh, they just would be perfect for this. They're right at that cusp of becoming stronger with reading and writing. We really want them in here. So like I said earlier, it's 26th to 39th percentile-ish, because we want to make sure we're finding the best students for what we're offering. But the second way is actually through Renaissance. So there's a way, and I don't know the exact steps, so I'm sorry, I can't tell you exactly where to go, but I do know within Renaissance as a parent, you can sign up for notifications. And basically every time they take the STAR, you would receive a report or a text message even of what their most updated scores are. So I know in the Epic universe we have that. So hopefully we can link that in somewhere. But that would be another way, just as a parent to Renaissance, that you could get their STAR scores quickly.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Ashley, do you have any other questions for them?
I did have one question because I know we're starting to run out on time and we don't want to go past our time. The big question that I have is, I know that ELA Plus is new, so we don't have a lot to go off of. But Erica, you've been doing Math Plus for a couple of years now, so I was just wondering if you could speak to some of the successes that you guys have seen with your students in the past.
Yes. So let me start by saying, I'll share our state test results with you, but the results that we care most about are growth, both in skills and in a love for math. And the best thing that we get are emails from parents and students telling us how much they hated math before, and now they love math. Math is their favorite subject. They never saw that coming. Telling us, how thankful they are for teaching them that they are good at math, because they've always thought that they were bad at it. So I just wanted to share that again on the video. Listen to the student who the cute little redhead. But as far as actual numbers go, our state test results, we have been triple the EPIC pass rate and double the state pass rate. Math Plus students are 376% more likely to pass the state test. And this is a really fun number for us. We were told that our Tier 2 and Tier 3 students who participated in Math Plus were 2.5 or 250% more likely to pass their state test. So that truly speaks to it. It is for everyone. It is a rigorous program. It's not easy. It's rigorous. It's time consuming. You're going to work on math every single day. But if a student wants to learn, then there's a place for them in Math Plus.
Thank you so much.
So,
I mean, those numbers speak volumes
Speak for
ultimately.
themselves.
Exactly.
Right.
But I think what's important too is, like you said, sometimes what's probably the most heartwarming is those emails, like you said, of parents saying their child finally has the confidence in something they didn't before. So that's really great. It looks like we have one more question, so I do want to address it.
Yeah.
They said, is Math Plus more of an enrichment?
So Math Plus it's a core replacement. So if a student enrolls in Math Plus, they will not do any math in their core with their roster teacher. So all math will be through Math Plus.
Thank you so much for addressing that. Yeah, great.
I would love to just speak to the
oh,
data piece on ELA Plus for just a
yes.
moment, because I know
Yeah.
we're new, but we did a lot of stipend and extension opportunities in spring and summer through not only our team, but with a lot of EPIC teachers who are also passionate about literacy. And we saw more often than not, student scores became the inverse. So if we started at 36th percentile, they ended up at the 63rd or higher percentile in terms of the scores that they were making. And so the growth that we're seeing with the targeted instruction that we're doing is very affirming that we've found the strategies that are really making a difference for our model, and working with students in these small group classes is just, it's the ticket to really grow their skill sets. So we're seeing tremendous growth with students already, and we're really excited to gather the data this school year as we're really up and running in full force.
Well, Amber, we are 110% behind you. And Ashley and I have just, I guess, because we're teachers ourselves, former teachers, it just really speaks to my heart and warms my heart that EL Plus is here and your team is working so hard. So thank you for that information and that data to support, the targeted instruction that you're going to be continuing on this semester. So I did have a question for you, for both of you. Last week we had a great teacher on, a parent, and they were talking about how to get the best outcome for my student. And what are some of the tips that we would recommend? So I really would love to kind of just pick your brain for both just generally, and then from the ELA perspective, plus perspective, and Math Plus. What would you recommend for a family if they're new to EPIC or returning, to get the best outcome possible for their student? So either one of you could start. It's fine.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency is
Okay,
huge.
I think that's okay. Very good.
Yeah, and I'm an EPIC parent as well. My two are in Schoolhouse, and we really love that model. And I think that's the other thing that I would speak to is EPIC is it is as many options as you want it to be, and as you seek out in terms of what could be best for you and your family and your children. And so I just encourage families to continue to ask questions, to get involved with as many different components of EPIC as you can. Come to the expos, come to these webinars, and ask questions and really understand how EPIC works, what the magic is to our system. Because not only am I a former teacher, but now director and parent, and as a parent as well. And that to me is the most important role when it comes to EPIC. And we have just absolutely found that for us, Schoolhouse is the best of the best in terms of the way that our family wanted to do school. And it allows for my children to have just the best education. And so consistency for sure. And I think also really realizing that that you are your children's teachers, and that's critically important for you to check in on their work, to be with them when they are completing some of their readings, or let them read to you, have them go over their work with you, let them ask you if they're stuck on a problem, how to work it through, and just be as engaged and as involved with their learning as you can, because that just, you are the biggest influence on their lives. And so the more that they can see you value it, it will in turn make them be more eager and more focused and work harder on their work. And it will actually make them more independent, which is the ultimate goal, that they are thriving, independent readers, writers, and mathematicians. And so the more that you can be involved with that process, the better that outcome will be for them.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's well
Yeah,
said.
that's
Thank
some
you.
great advice. And that's it's so good for us to ask those questions each week, because we love to hear everybody has different perspectives, and what works for them might not work for someone else. So it's really great to hear that each week. I want to thank both of you, Erica and Amber, for being here. I think this was a huge necessity for our families, because everybody's talking about these programs, and we get, Carla and I myself in our roles, we are getting questions about it every day. And so it's definitely something that families are wanting to have and to be a part of. So thank you so much. Let's see.
Asking, would you
Yes, go
like to
ahead.
play the math video? He's asking, would you like for him to play the math video?
Yeah,
Math video.
when we finish out, I just wanted to throw it before we finish. It looks like we are going to play this little Math Plus video here at the end, but so that's exciting. But I do want to say, back to school expos are happening this week. Tomorrow is Norman. I know I'm going to be there. People from my department are going to be at various expos, and honestly, almost every department at Epic is going to have at least one person there.
Math
So
Plus.
please, yeah, awesome, great. I'm so glad. So please
Yes.
come out and yes, Nana, yes, this video will be uploaded. It'll be on the
Yes.
Epic website on our FAQ page, so you can watch the recording. But yes, please come to our back to school expos and come say hi if you do. I'd love to talk with you. Carla will be at some as well. So yes, we'd love to see you. If you haven't already made plans to attend, please do. And if you still have questions about any of these programs, reach out to our team directly, edt@epiccharterschools.org. Someone from our team would love to talk with you, or if you have questions specifically for Erica or Amber, we can absolutely connect you. Or if you just have general questions about Epic, we're very happy to help. If you haven't enrolled yet, I can't say it enough, but
Not
let's
too
get
late.
going on there. It's not too late, and we would love to help you. So thank you
Right.
so much, Amber and Erica, for being here.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. You can play that video.
Offer at Epic. It's taught by certified Math Plus is a comprehensive math program that we offer at Epic. It's taught by certified math instructors. We cover all the standards, and we do our best to extend beyond that, as well as doing any remediation that's needed. So this means it's not a supplemental program. Everything they need comes from us. Usually we try to keep it between 10 and 15 students. We want those groups to be small so that we can give the individual instruction that we want to.
I jumped on the opportunity to put my kid in it. Math Plus opened up so many opportunities for her to really excel in math, going from struggling a little bit to now in the honors program.
I used to hate math. I used to do the curriculum, and I definitely was not good at it. But now, after doing 2 years of Math Plus, I actually want to be a math teacher. So it really had a very positive impact.
I've had several students this year. They came in really hating math and being nervous about it. And so at the end of the year, seeing them say, "I love math. You made a difference for me. I understand it. I feel more confident." I felt those were big wins.
Math Plus endeavors to meet all students where they are, including students who have special needs or may receive accommodations through a 504 or IEP. All students who would participate in instruction with their grade level peers are a fantastic candidate for Math Plus.
I decided to put my special education son, who was entering into 5th grade, into Math Plus. He was always very average at math. His benchmark in the fall was around a 44%, 43%, and through Math Plus, I started to notice his confidence being built in math and him saying, "I can do this, I'm now getting this." By winter benchmark, he was at a 66%. By spring benchmark, he was at an 87%, and he passed his state test with Proficient this past year. So it was smiles all around, and it was like he unlocked new potential having been in the Math Plus program.
I love Math Plus because it made me more confident and better at math and makes a better explanation in my head, and now it's kind of easy to do now.
Gracie, you got it! Yay!
I want to celebrate any mistakes or any successes they have as well. And I literally would just be like, "Touchdown!" And they would just start yelling it and laughing along with me. And so we had a really good time doing that. And sometimes they'd even ask, "Is that a touchdown, Ms. Campbell? Is that a touchdown?" Yes, that's a touchdown. You won that one.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for
That was
joining us.
wonderful.
Okay,
Yes, thank
have
you
a great
all.
week, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye. See you
Bye.
next